Hi there, my name is Andrea. Thanks for joining me. This video is around expecting engagement as part of the Provincial Instructor Diploma Program. Just got a story for you and I hope it will be interesting and engaging and helpful in your teaching practice. As an adult learner, I went back to college and I had an excellent instructor. She was very engaging. She always remembered to smile. She had excellent eye contact. She had a warm presence throughout the classroom. She engaged in small talk with the students. She wanted to know where they were from and how was their commute and just little things to get to know each other. And it helped build a warmth, a positive climate. We know now from neuroscience that a positive climate isn't just something we think is happening. It's actually something that's affecting our hormones. A positive climate will make us feel the nice warmth from hormones such as dopamine and oxytocin. And the other thing in that classroom is she's starting to create community and create belonging. And Maslow tells us that people have to have a hierarchy of needs met. Most of those students came to the classroom, they had food and shelter and their basic needs taken care of. But most of us as adult learners were a little bit insecure, we were a little bit nervous, we weren't sure about fitting in. And so it was really good in that beginning because she really started to help us create a sense of belonging. She encouraged us to get to know each other and get to know her. We were able to relax then and begin to learn the knowledge of what she was teaching. She used adult learning principles within her teaching practice, which was about having large group discussions, small group discussions, think, pair, share, building her curriculum in a progressive style that revealed all the different kinds of content and was keeping us motivated. Unfortunately though, about into the second week of that classroom, something really unfortunate happened that really popped a balloon in her efforts around engagement. A student came in late and suddenly she turned and she was really triggered and activated and angry, and she started yelling at him and started saying how could he be late and that he was a terrible person, and she really shamed him and made him feel really small and embarrassed. He couldn't leave the classroom, he still had to go sit down. And she expected that if it happened again, he was going to have to perform in front of the class or buy us all something. And it was so awkward. And it wasn't just awkward for him, it was awkward for all of us. And so in that moment, that positive climate that she created was now really punctured by a negative climate. And even though I wasn't the one that was late, I felt this pit in my stomach. I felt like, oh God, what that might happen to me, and what if I do something wrong, and what if I associate with someone who's late? Like, will I get into trouble? And then different hormones were kicking in, like cortisol, stress hormones. And then my mind was starting to feel anxious and worried about, well, what's this class really going to be about? I'm going to have to please this instructor, which is not nearly as much fun as just being engaged in the community and the content. And so after that experience, I made a commitment as an adult educator that I wanted to expect engagement from my students and tackle that issue of lateness, but in a different kind of way. And so I wanted to offer you some suggestions of things that I have now done as an instructor for a number of years, and also as a manager of instructor around lateness. And believe it or not, lateness is actually a really challenging and complex issue for instructors, and it does really trigger and activate us. And you have to really have some self-care and awareness to realize it's happening, so you can first calm yourself down. And then what's important to remember is that this is a person, and the person is more likely than not dealing with something, and they're not doing it just to be rude or disrespectful. It's really important to remember that. And so most recently, when I had someone late to a seminar that I ran, the person came in, and what I do is I acknowledge the person, but I don't stop the classroom. I don't make everyone else aware of the lateness, nor do I interrupt the flow of what's already happening, because that wouldn't be fair to the rest of the classroom. And then when there's time for a break, what I do is I approach that student myself, and instead of accusing them, threatening them, make them feeling even more nervous and upset than they already often are when they're late, is I ask them, what's going on? I noticed this was happening. I mention that we do expect engagement, we do expect people on time, but what's really going on for you? And I really take some time to talk to them about that. And what I find is there often is something going on for them. There's some struggle they have. And what helps is it actually deepens our connection. They feel warmth, they feel like I care. that I care for them, and they feel more that sense of belonging and caring. And it often is that I do have to set some boundaries. I have to say to them, you're going to have to figure this out, that this is an expectation in the course and that it affects others. Often if they know it affects others, that can have a big impact. And just really letting them know what we expect around engagement and what that really means and why it's important. And I found that many students are able to then change their behavior. Occasionally, though, if a student isn't, then we have to move to next measures, but that still can be done in a respectful way that honors them, that says, you know what, if you're not able to do this, then you may need to do the course at another time, or you may need to decide this is too much for you. So I just wanted to let you know about that story and about expecting engagement, and would love to hear your comments. And if you have anything to say about this or it sparked anything in you, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.